Hey guys, it's another Let's Talk with Pete on the couch. How are you guys doing? All right, let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about childhood drama and getting over it, all right? So, a lot of us have childhood trauma that we are as adults still getting through, right? And how to get through it, how to maneuver through life with it, how to become better, right? So, in order for me to get over childhood trauma, I went to therapy. That's one of the things I would suggest to anybody getting it out, and not just to any therapist, to a therapist that understands you, a therapist that likes you, not just taking your money monthly, letting out your feelings, right? I love my therapist. She was great. Shout out to her. Um, I let it out. Um, Going through therapy or maneuvering through childhood trauma is reliving the shit, right? Um, that's a hard pill because it's just like you may have got it out of your head or you may have not thought about it, right? But to get it out to a therapist and just was like, this happened, woo woo this and woo woo that, and just getting it out. I cried, right? And when you start therapy and you letting out what happened to you, things like that, depending on your therapist or whatever, I know one of your sessions probably the therapist is going to say, getting that closure from your parent or parents from your childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? What is that going to do for you? What is that going to do for the grown you? What is that going to do for the brand new you? For me, I made that closure myself. I'm like, from my point is just like, it's no reason to get that closure from my parents, right? This is just my experience. I wouldn't get that closure from my parents. It's just, I don't want to say it is what it is, but I came to peace with it. To me, it's no point of getting closure from them specifically. But if you want to go ahead and get that closure from your parents, go ahead and do so. But just know, prep yourself and take time. Depending on how your parents is, it may go one way, right? It may go the best way that you want it to go. You overcame it, you talked to your parents about it, they hug you, kumbaya, they apologize, closure, everything is everything, right? And then the bad outcome could be that they don't understand you, they don't believe it happened, right? They got in the back of their head that didn't happen. You letting them know it did. You did this, they did this, blah blah this and blah blah that, and it becomes into an argument. So it just be like, what is the point of the closure if it's gonna end like that, right? So I chose to, become at peace with it and living the best life as a grown person that I can. Overcoming that, right? Like I said, I went to therapy to open up about something that I never told anyone but the therapist that I was seeing. That's growth right there. That's admitting to yourself that I'm the way I am because of this or how I was raised or this or that. But I overcame it and I became better than that. I looked at myself and I wanted to be a better woman. I want to be a great wife to my husband. I want to be a great sister to my brothers. I want to be a great friend to my friends. I want to be a great TT, to my nieces and nephews. I want to be a great big cousin, right? So going to therapy, admitting some things, right? Also journaling, putting it in a journal of your feelings of what happened. That could be another thing of getting over childhood trauma and forgiving yourself as well, that you're not that 8-year-old or you're not that 15-year-old or I'm not 22 or whatever childhood trauma that you had, with your parents growing up in the household that you was raised in. And also a big one is forgiving your parent or parents for what they did to you, how they talked to you. You have to overcome that. Forgiving is growing. Forgiving is also in the Bible. Hell, God forgives you for all the things that you do, all the sinning that you do. So it's only right that you have to forgive your parents in life in order to grow to be a better person for yourself. And with that, I am happy. I became at peace with it. I'm a great person now. I'm only getting better. I love myself much more for doing that for myself, for my growth. Shout out to me. I'm patting myself on the back for stepping up for myself and doing that, and to be at peace with that, right? To be at peace with things, it's so beautiful, right? Even though sometimes you may be at peace with it, it may come up, you know. It may be some thoughts of be like, damn, I went through that, or my parent or parents did that to me, right? But it's just like the overcame, right? I was an angry ass child once upon a time. I was a firecracker. I popped off. What's up? You know what I'm saying? I am so calm now, but I still can sit up and say what's up. But I am so calm now. I am so proud of myself for overcoming all my childhood trauma, right? It became a better me, a better P, right? Like, I'm so proud of myself, and you can be proud of yourself too, of overcoming your trauma, going to therapy, writing it in your journal. Sometimes, you know, when I write in my journal, or I write in my notebook, depends on what the subject is, coming to peace with things. Write it in a notebook, and instead of having it in your journal to keep, you may look over it, you know what I'm saying, as years go on and later on down in life. Or write it down in the journal, write it down in the notebook and burn it, and just be like, God, I'm at peace with it. I'm glad I got it out. I wrote it down. Burn it and come to peace with it, like that. Another thing is, I know a lot of people in the world like to get closure. I'm not the type of person to get closure from things, because after I'm done with it, I made amends with it with myself. I made amends. I talked to God about it, and He don't show me no signs to get closure. To hell with it. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm not the type of person to need closure. Once I'm done with something, or I made peace with it, I'm moving forward. Life is going to go forward for me, right? But sometimes the outcome with getting those closures from that parents, whoever you was raised by, that you have that childhood trauma from, it's just like, one, it can go good, right? What is the best outcome? Everybody wanted to go good with the closure. It can go like, you know, you did this, you talked to me like this, I never understand, I was 8 or I was 12, however old were you when you went through that trauma, and your parent or parents could be like, you know, I'm sorry, we can move forward, kumbaya, right? Or they can be on the other hand that they don't believe you, or they don't feel like that shit happened, or, you know, they can feel some type of way about it because you talking to them about it, and, you know, it can go into an argument and it's not giving you the closure. So before you go to your parent or parents or whoever raised you with the childhood trauma that you have, come at peace with it, and be at peace with both of the outcomes that comes with it, whether it's good or bad, right? Because you have to be at peace with it before you get that closure. If you decide to get that closure from your parent or parents, to recover from the childhood trauma. But me just getting on and saying this on camera, to you guys, I overcame that shit, and you can too. You can be a better you. You are not your childhood trauma. You are better than your childhood trauma. Love yourself each and every day a little more. Apologize to yourself. You're not your 8-year-old self. You're not your 12-year-old self. You're not your 17-year-old self. You're not your 22-year-old self. Your adult you hugs you, loves you for who you became today, who you are right now. Your younger self is proud of your older self, right? Give yourself grace. And then also, it's just like in some instances, it's just like your parents didn't know. They did the best that they can. But in my situation, it's just like, damn, you could have did better. You could have did better. You definitely could have did better. But like I said, I became at peace with it, admitting that I needed the help because, you know, like I said before, I was a firecracker. I was an angry child. So overcoming that angry child, overcoming that firecracker to be more calmer, learning how to not let people upset me, right? Mind over matter, right? When somebody have your mind, they have everything. They control you basically, right? So learning that and reading books on mind and psychology books and things to make me better, for the better me, for the adult me, for the better wife I want to become, for a great mother I want to be to my future kids, for the woman, for the child of God that I am to be better, right? Because in the Bible it says forgive. So that's a big one too, to forgive your parent or parents for the childhood drama, right? Going to therapy, forgiving, admitting, and becoming at peace with it, right? And if you need that fifth one or whatever, or fourth one, getting that closure, right? You're going to feel so great about it that you overcame it. But first you have to become at peace with that before you can do anything and letting it out or finding that therapist to talk to, right? Again, to even say this on camera about childhood trauma or that I had it, right? A lot of people can relate to it, just saying it on camera and presenting to the world. I am proud of myself. Again, I'm going to pat myself on the back like, yeah, I did it. I'm doing it, you know. And I know a lot of people out there can relate. You can overcome your childhood trauma. You are better than your childhood trauma. You can be better than your childhood trauma. God forgives you. Forgive yourself. Forgive your parent and your parents again. Become at peace with it because life is too short, right? I went to church today and I listened to 2819. Those who know. Those who don't, you need to check that out on YouTube. 2819, and he was talking about his wife's mother, how, you know, maybe they had some few words, life is too short. Basically, someone had called his wife and she brought the phone downstairs. Basically, her mom just passed or whatever, but they had a few words and he used to pray for her like, God touch her, God touch her, God touch her, God touch her. You know, release those demons, release her sin, forgive her. You know what I'm saying? So she can be a better grandma, so she can be a better mother, so she can be a better person for herself. But on her last seconds or her last minutes, her last hours on earth, she repented. She gave her life to God. She told the friend who was visiting her that talked to the pastor wife, like, she told me, you know, my wife is married to a pastor. She's a first lady and this, that, and the third. So we don't know how long we have on this earth. We don't know how long our parents have on this earth. And you don't want to want anything to happen without forgiveness and without peace. Coming to peace with the childhood trauma. And I know in some instance, some things may have been worse than my situation and my childhood situation. And you don't want to talk to your parent or parents. You just cut them out of your life. I'm not saying it's wrong and I'm not saying it's right. If you okay with that and you at peace with it, but just know to talk to God about it, and do so how you do so, but forgive yourself, forgive your parent, and come to peace with it. I know it's easier said than done, but it can be done with getting over childhood trauma. Just take it. It's not no overnight shit. It is not. But getting to the root of it, having a support from other family, maybe friends, of course, but having that support, coming to peace with the closure, talking to God about it, and forgiveness, right? That is Let's Talk with P episode for today, tonight, whenever you see this. I love you guys. Until next time, peace out.